Good to go.
Nice background, Blake.
I know. I was just thinking that.
It's my house.
Welcome back to Trip Off Sports Talk. I'm Josh. Oh, this one's going to be a fun one. Nope. That's Bryce. That's Roy down there. And we have 3 special guests. Reed, Black, Burns. March Madness episode. It's going to be a fun one. We're not going to take a whole lot of time. We're not going to sit here for 2 hours because everybody knows whatever we say, the opposite's going to happen. So,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going perfect this year.
Yeah, I bet you are.
I'm winning a trip to Mars.
Well, then I can start with the first question and answer if you're going to go perfect or not. I figured we'd start by going over some upset games, popular ones that people are talking about first round, maybe who we have, why we think those will happen. I'm going to just jump right into it. Let's be real. We're going to start with you, Roy. Most popular upset pick that I've seen so far, and you guys can agree with me or disagree, UC San Diego and Michigan, 12 versus 5. Roy, what do you think about this game?
Not going to happen since their tallest player is 6'7", and we have 2 7-footers. I don't think it's going to happen.
But a 3 is worth more than a 2.
That is true.
Yeah. When we held teams in the last 6 games to 30 or 20% shooting from 2, so I think we'll be all right.
Roy, are you at all worried about this game?
Not even worried at all.
Wow.
That's just being on a podcast with Roy. I know he says some dumb shit, but that's one of them.
No, that is the perfect
Bryce, I'll kick it
answer
up to
and
you.
truth.
What do you think about this game?
I actually was looking at Bailey's bracket earlier, and she has Michigan going to the Final Four, and I told her,
she's a
Michigan
smart girl.
probably has to have 4 upsets in a row. I don't think they're going to be favored in a single game they play. So, kind of a dumb bracket if you ask me.
Well, Bailey did finish last year, so it's okay. Reed, I'll go down to you. What do you think about this game?
I mean, I think UC San Diego's got the shooting, but I don't think they can stop Golden Wolf in the paint.
Yeah.
They're just too big.
Yep.
Black?
So I got Michigan winning that
Kid.
I got Michigan. I'm going to go with the size, and I think a lot of the public's going to take UC San Diego, so I'll just go with Michigan.
Burns?
DraftKings is just trying to get everyone's money. Michigan, easy.
So I'm gonna take all 3 these guys and kick you off this podcast, Josh, because they're way cooler than you are and smarter.
I bet they are. Well, I'm going to go the opposite. Michigan, other than the Big Ten tournament, where they played teams that they know, they stumbled in, didn't play great. They can have 2 7-footers, but damn, those 2 7-footers can't guard a lick out there at the 3-point line. And UC San Diego is going to rout them early. 20-point lead at some point. Michigan battles back, makes it a tie game.
Josh?
What's that?
You want to put a bet on this?
I'll take a bet on it. I'm already betting it. So
No,
UC
I mean
San Diego.
You and I.
Yeah, Burns.
Blake and I went to a Kentucky versus Yale game a couple years ago. Danny Wolf was a freshman, so Josh, you're gonna love this. I kind of like cheering for Danny Wolf because I was literally 10 feet away from him for 3 hours. We were right behind.
First round pick.
I do love that. First round pick in the Euro draft, maybe.
NBA. Probably.
Yeah, I think
better than Will Riley.
Not a chance. I do think UC San Diego wins this. I really do. I think that they can shoot. Again, it's one of those days where the ball doesn't fall. No, they don't have a shot. But if they shoot and play well, and everybody knows ball falls that don't fall November through February, they fall in March. So I'll take UC San Diego. Yeah, well, let's pray. Another one, the game right below it, Yale, Texas A&M. I'll go first. Texas A&M defense, I think, can probably stifle Yale, but Yale also beat Auburn last year. I'm going to take Yale to upset again.
All the 2 Kentucky kids that know a little bit more about this team.
Like Josh said, Yale snuck up on Auburn last year. By the way, I came on this podcast and put Kentucky and Auburn in the Final Four. Both lost first round.
I forgot about that.
Yes. I had Kentucky, Auburn, and New Mexico all out the first day.
Yeah.
Wade Taylor's too good.
Why do we invite these guys back?
Too many people are picking
Give good advice here.
Yale.
Yeah, honestly, just fade.
Black?
Yeah, I don't know. This one was a tough one for me, but I'm just gonna go with Texas A&M athleticism, and I don't think Wade Taylor will let them lose this game, and I think a lot of people will pick Yale just based on last year. But
Yeah.
I'll go Texas A&M.
Reed?
I mean, A&M's not really a great shooting team, but they're just way too athletic for Yale, and Wade Taylor's way too good for anybody in Yale to shut him down. So I got A&M winning this one.
Bryce?
Yeah, you'll never catch me picking a bunch of lawyers to play basketball.
Jeez. Did I read a stat right that Texas A&M shoots 29% from the field, but leads the nation in offensive rebound? Is that right?
From the
Anybody
field?
see? Yeah, from the field. Like they're the what? Like one of the worst shooting
It
teams in
cannot be
college
29
basketball.
from the field.
Like that's
Maybe
what I read.
from three.
They're absolutely terrible from shooting, and that they're
I
but they're
mean,
but
just
they
muck everything
lead
up.
the nation in offensive rebounding and like shot attempts.
I can't say
Anybody-
I watched A&M play a whole lot.
I
like the
picked.
Kentucky guys did.
I'm going Yale just because.
Yeah.
If you're, I just heard, everything I've heard about Texas A&M is that they're just absolutely god awful on offense, and their
They
defense
do
is
get a lot
decent.
of offensive rebounds, so
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's so. Yeah, you always these teams like Yale end up finding a way to win in a first
Yep.
round like that. So
Another one I'm going to go to, and I'm going to start with you, Black, on this one. Memphis 5 seed, Colorado State 12 seed. I believe this is the most popular. Well, the Michigan one is probably most popular, but a lot of people think this is the wrong seedings for both these teams. I have Colorado State winning. I actually bet on Memphis every game of their, was it A10 or A8? What's their division that they play in? Is it A10? But
No, American.
American, yeah.
Is it?
I bet on
American?
them every round, and they have Haggerty, who dropped about 40 every night, and they also have Illinois legend Dane Danger. But Colorado State's playing too good. They're going to win. Black, I'm going to go to you next.
So Memphis dealing with some injuries. I don't know who's actually going to be out for the game. Tyrese Hunter, I know he's a little banged up, but I am easily going with the Rams. Nick Clifford, way too good for Memphis and Penny Hardaway. So I'm taking the Rams in this one.
Brennan?
Well, I always cheer for the Rams. Shout out to Julia.
Yep.
That's where she went. Nico Medved is joining the Big Ten and going to Minnesota after the year, though, which scares me. But I'll still pick him. Is Tyrese Hunter out, or is he playing?
I don't know.
I don't know yet.
And also, last I checked DraftKings, Colorado State was
Favored. Yes, that is true.
which makes me want to pick Memphis.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
But I'm going to pick the Rams just because, shout out Julia.
It's a
Yeah.
respect pick. I appreciate it.
Bryce?
I'm taking Memphis.
All right. Roy?
I took the upset.
Yeah.
So
Reed?
I took Colorado State too. I just think that Clifford's his 20-9 each game. I mean, I think that's going to be too much for Memphis to handle.
It's a popular pick. The last one I'll talk about, because again, we could talk about a bunch of these, but I don't want to stay too long on the first round. Matchups when doesn't matter if one team wins, they might not make it out of the second. Drake and Missouri. I'm going to go first. It's two polar opposite teams. Missouri runs and guns, scores a lot of points. Drake, Brennan, and Blake were at the MVC or the Arch Madness where Drake won. I'm not gonna lie, as good as Drake looked, that's the most boring basketball I've ever watched at some points of the game. They just walk it up, wait till 6 seconds, set a screen, and let Bennett Sturts go to town. And my God, is it boring. Whatever one gives, obviously, I think is the winner. The thing that scares me is the athleticism of Missouri. Can some of those Drake guys actually stay in front of them and get all the steals and stuff that they do? But at the end of the day, Drake has the best player on the floor in Bennett Sturts, so I'm taking Drake. Reed?
I'm also going Drake. Ben McCollum, he's had success in the D3 and D2 level, and Bennett Sturts is hard to stop. And I think Mizzou is not playing their best basketball right now. So I'm going to lean Drake on this one.
Bryce?
Yeah, I got Drake as well. You'll never see me pick Mizzou in anything.
That's a great answer. Maybe the best one you've ever said. Brendan.
I wanted to pick them so bad. I said it the whole weekend we were there. But then they got matched up with Mizzou, who I hate. But Mark Mitchell, I'm taking his over points no matter what it is. He's too good. They aren't very big, other than the dude from Wyoming.
Yeah.
And also, they didn't hit the over, and we had so much relying on them to hit the over that first game, Pug.
I don't care if the over's 30.5. I'm taking the
They
under when
scored
Drake plays.
6 points in 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's true. Black?
This one's tough, but I think I'm going to go Mizzou.
They hung with Florida.
I'm disappointed with you too.
Unfortunately, I think Caleb Grill might be one of those NCAA tournament guys that just he's a legend in March Madness, unfortunately, but we'll see.
Roy?
I went with Mizzou. I mean, I'm gonna go with who was it that Jay Bills or somewhere said the Kim Palm has Missouri in like the top 5 and they don't lose first rounds in your Kim Palm top 5. You know how that's the metric you got to use. So
Yeah.
I'm going to use Mizzou.
Well, Mizzou's good at not being good, so I'll take them in a loss. All right. We're going to fast forward. We're going to go to the Final Fours, and I'm just going to go one by one.
Final Four or Elite 8?
No, let's go Final Four because the Elite 8 have good matchups, but who are the teams that are coming out of the Elite 8 for you guys? So I want to go to the Final Four.
Elite 8, Pug. Come on.
Fine.
Let's do the Elite 8.
All right, fine. We can go Elite 8.
Quit trying to
Bryce,
fast forward just because you're at a bar.
I don't care about that. Bryce, let's start with you. You're Elite 8 in the South.
In the South,
Dude, I got it.
I'm trying to think of which bracket I want to go to because I do have a huge upset I want to talk about.
Well, let's start with the South is what he's asking.
Yeah, let's go
I
South
know
first.
I'm on the South. I'm gonna go Auburn, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Michigan State.
That's the Sweet 16.
The next one.
Oh, Auburn and Michigan State.
Okay. I'll go next because this is the one of the chalks that I have. I do also have Auburn and Michigan State. I was torn. I think Michigan State, they just don't play well offensively, and they don't have a guy. I mean, Richardson's good, but I don't know if he's the guy I want taking a last shot for a buzzer beater. But I don't have it. Iowa State is it Gilbert? Is that his name? He's out.
He's out.
So it's just hard for me to find, and I don't know who's going to win that Marquette New Mexico game. I could see Marquette maybe get Michigan State, but it's hard for me because I don't know who's coming out of that game. So I did chalk it. So I do have Auburn, Michigan State. Brendan, I'll go to you.
Nah, skip me.
Okay, Black.
I got a rematch of the Big Ten, Michigan State, baby.
Man, smart man.
Last year I invite Blake on this thing.
That's
I don't trust Auburn, but hey,
Yeah.
like I said last year,
I know.
Final Fours were out first round, so
Yeah.
might want to fade me.
Reed.
I took Auburn and Michigan State too.
Yeah.
Even though Auburn's lost their 3 out of their last 4 games, they're not playing too well. I still think they're too good to lose in the first 3
If
rounds.
Louisville makes it out, man, that game
Yeah.
scares me for Auburn. But
That's
'cause it's
why
in-
I was saying I didn't know which bracket to pick. Because my other bracket, I have Louisville upset
Yeah,
Auburn. and go to
it's
the Elite
it's
Eight.
not crazy, but yeah. Roy.
Well, I have Auburn getting beat by Louisville because it's in Lexington. And it's going to be a home
Yep.
game for Louisville. So, Auburn's getting screwed on that one. And then when's the last since 2019? Bruce Pearl hasn't gotten out of the first weekend. So, I have Michigan State, just because Michigan I think will get the good draw and kick some ass, and then Michigan State will get lucky.
Yeah. Brennan.
Well, I wanted to pick Louisville to beat Auburn, but I have not filled a bracket out, by the way. I'm filling my one bracket out tonight. I wanted to do this show raw. Last year, I spent so many hours preparing, and it fucked me. Sorry for that.
Good.
But I hate that it's at Rupp Arena in Kentucky, but I do like Creighton, so I'm gonna go with Auburn. You ready for this?
Oh boy.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
UNC should not have been in, but they're gonna
Oh.
find a way to just keep winning games.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I think it's gonna be Auburn, UNC. And if I'm wrong, I'll be happy. But
Yeah. That's a good one.
I think Ole Miss. I know they beat Kentucky by 50, but I think they're the weakest 6, and Iowa State's hurt. I don't know. Izzo's good. I'm just gonna pick UNC.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Let's go to the West. Is Florida the most favorite of the 1 seeds at the moment, you would say?
Probably.
I
Duke.
kind of agree.
I
I would say they're
Duke,
the favorite.
probably.
I think Duke was the number one bet.
Yeah.
on
The flag is healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Roy, I'll let you go first in the West. What's your Elite Eight?
My Elite Eight, mine's easy. I think it's Florida and St. John's. I think you got the two the two best teams. I think that's that or Duke's or the East are the two weakest ones, and other than Texas Tech. So, but Florida, I think Felix has a pretty easy route to get to the final to the Elite Eight.
Bryce?
I actually have Florida and Texas Tech.
I mean,
Texas
that's
Tech,
not a
very
bad one.
popular pick. Very
Yeah,
popular
Texas
pick.
got play. I mean, Chris Beard's a pretty good coach.
Yep. Reed?
I got Florida and St. John.
Okay.
Boring pick.
Yeah, Rick Pitino in there, man. Rick Pitino's got to keep
Brennan?
going.
Florida for sure. I love Rick Pitino after hating him for the last however many years. But
I mean, you loved him as a Kentucky coach, right?
Well, that was like
That's probably before your
I was
you
not
when you were
very
little.
old. But here's the thing: all the metrics hate St. John's. So tonight, whenever I fill this out, I'm gonna stare at Kansas St. John's for probably 30 minutes. But I'm gonna take St. John's in Florida.
Blake?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go Florida St. John's. I'm praying the game happens because it would be electric because they're so opposite. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Also,
for it.
Walter Clayton played for Rick Pitino at Iona. So,
Yes, that's true. Yep. I do have St. John's, but I do not have Florida. I have Florida getting upset by the team I have in the Elite Eight. I have Maryland making it. I love teams that just fall short of making their conference tournament. I think it pisses them off, but usually they're good enough, like a 2 or a 3 seed. Maryland had Michigan beat, other than the last 4 seconds where they made the layup. That pisses people off because Maryland probably
Should have,
thought.
would have. They didn't do it, so
Yeah,
shut the
love
fuck
Maryland
up.
probably
Queen.
thought they were going to win the Big Ten once Michigan State fell. That gives them juice, and everybody has Florida beating them. So I'll take Maryland to get through.
What you're gonna say about Illinois too? About getting beat? They got beat in the quarterfinals, I think.
Oh, we lost by 60.
Yeah, I was there. It was pretty bad.
Yeah. Maryland always kills us, even if they're bad. All right, let's go to the East. Blake, I'll start with you.
I got Duke and Wisconsin.
Ooh.
I don't
Wisconsin's
think Duke
also
will
playing
flip
good.
as long as they're healthy. And then I really like Tanjay for Wisconsin. He used to be a CSU Ram,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go with those two.
Bryce?
I've actually got a big upset here. I have Alabama and Oregon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That is a huge upset. Wow.
Yeah.
Who do you have? I'll get to that later. That doesn't matter. Reed?
I also have Duke and Wisconsin. Wisconsin's playing really good right now. They've been shooting the ball really good. Against UCLA, they made like a ton of threes. So, and I think Duke's a no-brainer, especially when Flag returning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Roy?
I have the same Duke and Wisconsin. I mean, the tournament's all about guard play, and when you got a Tanya, when you got a guy who can get a bucket when he needs to, except when he plays Michigan, then it does. I mean, I think that'll help him.
Brendan?
Duke better pray they don't have to face Caleb Love. But I'm gonna
That's
take
probably
Duke.
true.
I'm gonna take Duke, and Alabama just beat the Cats by 100. And you said guard play. They have Mark Sears.
Yep.
I'll take Bama. I'd be wrong to not take Bama. They just beat my Cats by 100. Thankfully, not thankfully, but that tornado came through, knocked the power off. I didn't have to watch the second half.
Yeah. Don't worry. You picked Bama because of that reason. That's another reason why I had Maryland beating Florida, because they just beat the brakes off of Illinois by 40. I actually am in disbelief. Bryce, I have the same game as you, Oregon and
Do you
Alabama
really?
as well. Swear to God. I was going to go last for that, and then you said that, and I almost went right after. I do. Oregon's one of those teams that plays good or really bad. I watched them play Illinois in January. They looked awful. Then I watched them play, Michigan State and that, and they looked terrific. So I'll just buy it. They get hot, even though I really think they could lose the first matchup. But, you got to have a shocker in there somewhere. And if I'm going to have anyone lose, it'll be Duke. So that's cool with me. And then let's go to the Midwest. I'll go first in this one. I have Houston there. I just think that defense is going to play. And especially with the Final Four being in San Antonio, it might give them a little extra juice to get there. And I got the Cats.
Come on, Pug.
I got
on.
them. So last year,
I'm so sick of the
Last year,
reverse
I had
psychology,
Illinois winning the
Pug.
first round and losing to BYU in the second round. BYU not end up being there, but
I'm
still,
sick.
I had Illinois winning the first round with Kentucky, so I have to reverse jinx it. Obviously, I
I'm
hope that
sick.
doesn't. But yeah, Kentucky's going to the Elite Eight this year in my book. So
Yeah,
Blake?
my pick, Pug.
Blake, if you say,
I got Clemson, the Fighting Illini, baby.
Oh God! Yeah, he just went on down on my list there. Jeez.
Brendan,
Come on, Pug. Well, first off, the Triple Alphas had breaking news last year on this podcast, because I came on this podcast and I said, when Kentucky loses early, Mark Pope would be Kentucky's coach this year.
it's true.
Well, they both
You did
lost.
say that.
They both lost in the first round. Mark Pope's still here. Hell of a coach. I love him. They only had 7 games where they were fully healthy. They're going into the tournament missing 2 of their top 6 players. And Lamont Butler, the point guard, is playing at like 60%. So I'm taking Houston, even though I think Gonzaga might get them. I'm going to take Houston. And Kentucky, shout out to Bryce. Kentucky already beat them twice this year. It's not going to happen a third time. This is the first year ever that I'm not publicly putting the Cats winning it all.
Blake
Maybe
just
I'll
threw
pull
up.
a Pug. I'm hoping to pull a Pug here. Reverse
I never take
psychology.
Tennessee, though.
Because Pug's pissing me off. Pug, I had this planned all day to go on this tangent. And I'm sorry for everyone else. But Pug, I'll play Pug in fantasy football, and it'll be 5-2 after Thursday night football. And this guy will text me saying, "Good game, man. My team's not bringing it this week." It's 5-2.
Reverse
Pug.
jinx.
And then he comes
God.
on here. I wouldn't have done this if you didn't pick Kentucky, by the way. But you picked Kentucky.
I'm glad you went first.
You picked Kentucky. So it's either going to be Houston, Tennessee, or Houston, Illinois.
Well, I
don't
reverse
know.
jinx it to have Illinois when they play Kentucky. But at that point, I have Kentucky and Tennessee, which I do think Tennessee doesn't have their number this year. So I would go Kentucky. So then that puts them in the Elite Eight.
Well, it's probably going to be Texas versus Rick Barnes anyway. So
That's true.
we both.
Bryce,
I have Houston and Tennessee.
Roy,
I have Clemson in Tennessee.
Oh man, 2 Clemsons.
Reed, did you go or did I skip you?
I haven't went yet. I got Clemson
Okay,
and
go.
Tennessee also. I got
Damn.
Clemson and Tennessee.
He's a
Tennessee
smart
or
man too.
Clemson?
I mean,
Clemson.
I mean, Kelvin Sampson's not known for going deep. I mean, but once
Yeah.
he struggles.
I will
So
say,
Yeah. All right.
Clemson, I'm really just worried about McNeese, but if they can get past that, then I feel.
Yeah.
pretty
And I'm
good.
not a big Rick Barnes fan. I think I would. That's the one I'm scared about because I think that he struggles too, and I'm getting his team in deep.
All right. Let's finish it off here. I'm going to go through each of you. Give me your Final Four, your championship, and your champion. All right, all together when we go through. Reed, I'm going to start with you. What do you got?
All right, I got Michigan State coming out of the South. Then I got Florida coming out of the West. and I got Duke out the East, and I got Clemson coming out of the Midwest.
Man.
And then in the
Nice.
chip, I got Florida versus Duke, and then I got Florida winning it all.
God
It's
damn.
a solid
Bree.
one. Okay, with that comment, Roy, I'll go to you.
Well, I mean, I have Duke and Clemson playing each other in the East versus Midwest. I have my Wolverines playing Florida in the Southwest, but I have Florida and Duke just like Reed, and I have Florida winning it all.
All right,
Oh boy.
Bryce.
I have Michigan State and Florida on one side, with Florida coming out on top. And then I have Oregon being my hot team against Tennessee on the other side. And a matchup of Florida-Tennessee with Florida winning.
And then, oh, yeah.
Oh, you have Tennessee in the championship?
Yeah. I got to try and reverse psychology it as well.
Black.
Pug.
All right, I got Michigan coming out of the South. Shout out, Roy.
Man,
Yeah,
I got to
you're-
keep this kid around.
You are never coming back on this damn thing.
Florida out of the West, Duke out of the East, Clemson out of the Midwest with a Duke Florida national championship, and Florida coming out on top.
Wow.
Don't feel good about it, to be honest, but
Yep.
fade me.
Burns.
I mean, he hasn't completed his bracket yet, so he's got to think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Auburn out of the South. See, you guys love the ACC, and they got. Well, I did pick UNC to the Elite Eight. Never mind. Anyway, Auburn. I want to pick Slick Rick, but Florida's so good. I'm gonna pick Florida. I'm gonna pick. Man, you know what? I'm going all SEC.
Oh, boy.
Auburn, Florida, Bama, Tennessee, who's never made a Final Four. Sorry, Bryce. This is your year. This is your year.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology. Pug's been doing it against me for years. I'm doing it now. And then championship.
Oh, do you cut out? I didn't hear
He
it.
cut out right when he said
Yeah.
Perfect. Way
Leave
to
it at
do it.
that. Leave it at that. Todd Golden worked for Bruce Pearl. He's going to beat Bruce Pearl. They're going to play Bama, and Florida's going to win.
A lot of Florida
Bama.
here.
Wow.
A lot of Florida here winning it, boys. Well, guess what? I don't even got Florida in the Final Four, so I can't have it. I got Auburn out of the South, St. John's out of the West. I got Oregon coming out of the East, and Houston making it to San Antonio. I got Auburn and Houston going to the championship, and I have Houston winning it.
Winning it. Yeah, you would.
Yep. Last year I picked what I thought was the best defensive team in the tournament, and Illinois beat them. So
Houston will get lucky to get out of the first round playing our boys.
I know I literally
Oh,
said that. I
yeah.
said if SIU beats them and I bust my bracket, I'll just do a backflip. in
What's the
happiness.
chance
So-
of them? I mean, you've seen SIUE, and what's the chance of it?
Well,
if
the-
the best player doesn't punch somebody in the face.
yeah, that's
they-
true. The chances are 0, but
Well,
Come on.
the thing that I thought was
It's a 1 or 2% chance.
the thing that I thought sucked for SIUE, Houston is just it's their dominant defensive team. Well, defense travels no matter what. You're not going to get an off defensive night probably. So there you have no shot. Burns.
Overconfidence, they would.
True. Burns.
Go
I'm sick to my stomach with my Tennessee pick, so I'm putting Houston in there.
That's right. That's right. Anybody have any other last comments
Why,
they want to
why
put?
didn't you just put Josh? Why didn't you put Kentucky in there? I mean, to really
I
help
thought
these
about it,
guys,
but-
you know.
I don't think Kentucky could. I shouldn't say that. I don't want to get beat. They know where I live. They might come and beat me.
Go ahead and talk. Yeah.
Pre-injury, Cats, I would have had them winning it all. And if we stay on this podcast any longer, they're going to be in the Final Four. So we
It's true.
need to get going.
Yeah, I hope reverse jinx works for me again. I need it. So I don't have
How far-
anything else. You guys have anything else you want to add in about something?
I want
did.
to go ahead, Bryce.
I wanted to just real quick come up with the five best tournament players of all time.
True, you're putting me on the spot.
Wow. Well, considering I'm older, I'm easier to. I got more to fix for them. I
Yeah.
can. I mean, I got them. I don't know about. I mean, Reed's. What are you? 17,
I
16?
mean,
I mean, he hasn't
He's
seen
like
too many
Joseph
Final
Player.
Fours. I mean, so who wants to go first? I mean, you want me to go first? Since
I
I'm
don't
the
have a
oldest.
I
top
don't care.
5. I can
I
give
can
you
give you
one.
5 names right now that I probably could say who are me watching, who I would say top 5 that I've seen, and they're all
Josh, you got
older.
one? Josh, you said you had one?
Yeah, skip me. I'm debating between 2 people, so skip me and I'll come back to
All
it.
right. Roy, just throw out one.
Throw out one player or 5 players.
One right now. We'll come back if we need more.
Oh, I mean, I can give you. I'm not. The obvious one's Christian Leitner, but I'm going to say
I was
Glenn
going to say
Rice.
Christian Leitner.
Since Glenn Rice is the all-time leading scorer in tournament history.
I was going to say Christian Leitner. I said he had to be on that list.
I mean, I can name off about 10 right now. That
Ah.
players I've seen that were good. One of them's a Kentucky player that had an awesome tournament. Ron
KD?
Mercer.
Oh,
Freaking Ron Mercer back in the 90s or 2000, whatever it was. He had some great games.
okay, Bryce. I have the name that I'll go with. Is this the greatest one? No, but this is the one that I just remember the most every time. Doug McDermott, dude. That dude fucking
Dougie
shot
Bucket!
that dude shot the
Let's go!
lights out of the gym.
Doug
I almost went
McDermott.
with Jimmer Fredette, but
I was gonna say Jimmer.
Jimmer.
I mean-
it was between those two, but I just remember
God,
Dougie
Doug
Buckets
McDermott,
there,
that's
dude.
One of my favorite players ever.
golly.
Anybody else got one?
You got one?
Reed, you got one?
what about Carson Edwards, Purdue?
Oh, I hate that
Dude,
little guy.
he
God
was
dang it.
Unstoppable there
He's
for
good,
several weeks.
Golly.
Yeah, he was good.
Pull up from the
He had like 2
elbow was
40-point
just
games.
automatic.
It's pretty good.
For what
Blake?
was he, 5'7"?
Well, yeah, if.
Top 10 maybe.
I'm throwing Kimba Walker in there, too.
Cardiac
One of the most
Kemba.
iconic-
Kemba
Listen up.
Walker.
But problem is,
Yeah.
his number one highlight is from the Big East tournament, not a March
Yeah.
Madness game. But
Yeah, that's true.
Shabazz Napier, pretty good. Also
Mhm.
yeah,
good. Beat my Cats in 2014.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Pistol Pete averaged like 40 in the tournament as well. He was unstoppable.
But he never got past the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
So did
Brennan?
Austin Carr though.
I gotta say Anthony Davis,
yep.
Melo, F. Jamal Mashburn had like 25 and 96 the championship game. Shout out Mark Pope, he was on that team. Terrence Shannon,
Goat.
Jalen Rose.
Crazy what happens when you
Chris
got a
Webber.
lawsuit
Hey,
hanging
Trey
over your
Burke
head.
for Michigan. I mean, 2013.
Trey Burke.
Jordan Poole.
He had that one shot.
Yeah,
Against
I know.
Houston.
Jalen Suggs.
I'm surprised you didn't say Darren Williams. I mean, he was like a freaking stud in 05
Oh yeah, he was.
until Sean May came around in North Carolina and they couldn't guard him.
Still the greatest comeback maybe ever in March Madness history.
I have another comment, if that's all right to switch the topic.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, very excited for Will Wade to just be that thorn in North Carolina underneath UNC and Duke.
Yeah.
I hated him when he was at LSU, but he's grown on me since
Yep, he's good.
he's been at McNeese.
Anybody got anything else?
One
Yeah,
person
thank you
who
for letting us
one person who won me a lot of money though one year, I'll just shout him out. Jalen Brunson, when he took down Wolverines, won me a shit ton of money. So he'll always be in my heart.
Yeah, that was a really good game. Love when Michigan loses.
Yeah, in the national title game.
Yeah,
Tell me
go
when
all the way
Illinois
there
gets to
just
that.
lose. That's awesome.
Even
Only year I've
Chinzo.
ever won a tournament.
Yep.
Do
I don't
what?
have anything else, you guys.
Do you say Illinois, Michigan's never won a tournament?
No, it says the only year I've ever won. I won our whole bracket that year.
Oh.
That's
Brennan?
all I got.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you again for letting us on.
Oh yeah.
Hey, we need to do
I
more
enjoy
stuff
it.
like this.
Yeah, it's fun.
I apologize that I wasn't, fully statted out, but I wanted to hit it raw.
Nothing wrong with hitting
I
it raw.
really appreciate. Like, I was looking forward to it. I have a good time doing it. Hopefully, the reverse psychology works for me as well as it works for Pug.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
All
All right.
Yeah,
Well, that's
thank
all
you,
I got. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share it. We'll see you next week on Tuesday for our normal pod. Go Cats, am I right?
Shut up.
Peace.
Go Wolverines, man. Go blue.
Go Blue. Go Cats.
Does Illinois play Friday